Hello, and welcome back to the studio. I'm Dr. Wiggo, and today I'm going to be trying out some more Vision Pro accessories. If you watch this video where I got a new light seal for my Vision Pro, you'll discover that it reduced the discomfort by approximately 5%, which, since the discomfort is actually physical pain, 5% still leaves it in the pain category. But viewers of that video left some comments. D-Boy, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and Blue Mike and John Atkins all recommended I try out the Globular Cluster CMA1. I will put a picture on the screen. I did not try that because A, it looks ugly as hell. B, it's weird as hell. And it's also like $70, and I figured I'd just be throwing $70 away. So I skipped on that. But John Atkins also recommended the ANNAPRO, and so did Bob Whitmer. I figured I'd try this, so I ordered one. But while I was on Amazon, you know how they are, they said, well, people that looked at this also looked at this. And this is the Spigen, I don't know how to pronounce it, which is very similar to the ANNAPRO. It doesn't look as nice, so maybe, I don't know. So what we're doing this week is I'm going to try these two solutions. Now what they are is, instead of the dual loop band, they go with the single loop band, the fancy one, but they add a top strap to this band. And again, as I told you in that video, the Apple employee said that this band was more comfortable for him. It wasn't for me. But I figure if I do it with one of these, I have two recommendations from two of my viewers. So what the heck? Right now I'm going to unbox these, and then I'm going to go away for several days and try them both out over a long extended period, and then come back and report my results. I'm not going to film down in the living room. Setting up the cameras is a pain, and it's just going to be me putting this thing off and on. It's not really worth looking at. For you, you're going to see this, see me unbox these, and then you'll see the several days later card, and then I'll be back and tell you how it went. We're going to start with the ANNAPRO because no one recommended the Spigen, whatever this is, except Amazon. I'm trying to slide it out, and it just lifts up. I think it's magnetic because it just, yeah, there's no sticky. Yeah, I see the magnets. So it's got a little magnetic. So it's nice packaging. Got a little manual. Actually, no, that's just a picture of it. Here's the little one-page manual. Put it on like that. Boop, boop. You're good to go. Pressure reducing comfort head strap. That's what I need. There's the installation. So it's pretty simple. It seems to come with, this is the actual thing, and you can see how it's gonna clip on to the Vision Pro. It looks like it's gonna cover up the little speakers because there's a little speaker opening here. I think that's gonna slide over the speaker. Maybe that'll affect the sound quality. I'll let you know. Well, this is kind of nice. Maybe this is why it costs $10 more than the other one. It comes with other, this is much thicker. This is the 15 millimeter, and this is the 10 millimeter. And what's in here is a 10 millimeter. So they give you a second 10 millimeter, but then they give you a thicker 15 millimeter with more padding. And as you can see, it's just Velcro under here. So you just Velcro in the cushion strap, and then it's going to go over your head. So let me read the little instructions. Sponge pad installation. Well, it came with one already installed. Head strap installation, and you see it, they show it sliding on, which I guess you do with this nut here, like so. Yeah, see, and it does slide down over the, I'm thinking this is going to affect the audio quality. So let's put this back on. Here's my first little issue. It looks like it's going to be a bit of a pain. So I've got this slid down as far as it'll go. Where the strap goes, this thing is in the way. Wait, there, I got it. Well, let's see how this goes. Well, you know what this does? See back here, it's got it up high, which is what the guy at the Apple store said made him more comfortable. It's not putting nearly as much pressure here. Well, it is still putting pressure here, but this takes all the pressure away from up here. This could work. So that's the ANNAPRO. It looks like maybe we're not done. We also have the Spigen or Spigen. Now this has a lot less, it's a lot less complicated. It's got the little instructions here. This one's vertically oriented. Yeah, so this goes, well, we're about to see. Okay, so this one mounts similarly, except it does not cover the little speakers. See, it slides over here like this. And then the same thing on the other side. And then you can put this on, which goes on much easier. So the ANNAPRO wasn't really adjustable. This one is adjustable. You have to kind of pull it through. And pull it through some more. Watch, I'll just need to tighten it back down. But let's try this for now. Yeah, so I went to all that trouble to loosen it up, and apparently I shouldn't have done that. Because now it's not taking enough weight off of my face. That's about the same on both sides. Yeah, that's about where it was. Let's try this. It's an improvement. I don't think it's as big an improvement as the ANNAPRO. But you don't have to tighten this knob back up so much because this is bearing a lot of the weight on top of the head. Still have a little bit of pressure down here. Actually, a lot of pressure, but not as much as without this. This is pulling pressure off of here. I have almost no pressure here. Didn't with the ANNAPRO either. So as I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go try both of these out. Do an extended test. A bunch of movies I need to catch up on, so this is perfect. In a matter of seconds, I will be back several days later and tell you what my findings are wearing these things for long periods of time.
1 week later.
Wow. You know how I usually say that could have gone better? That really couldn't have gone much better. The ANNAPRO is amazing. The Spigen, whatever it is good. It's okay. It's fine. But this thing... Okay, so it's been a week. I tried this for several sessions. I'm glad I started with it because once I switched to the ANNAPRO, I wasn't going back. This thing is amazing. This thing across here takes basically all the weight off. The light seal is barely touching my forehead up here. I have a little bit of weight here, but again, this is pulling a lot of this weight up and off of my cheeks. So a lot of the discomfort I was feeling, I don't feel it anymore. Last night, here, let me take this back off. Last night I watched Avatar: The Way of Water, a 3-hour movie, which by the way, for some reason I'd never actually watched all the way through. But I sat through it, you don't notice. I mean, yeah, you know you're wearing a Vision Pro because your face gets a little hot and you know, it's still not the most comfortable thing in the world to wear, but the pain is gone. No pain. After 3 hours, I took it off. I had you get a bit of a red mark here from this guy. All the weight is right here. I'm sold. This thing is amazing. Big thanks to John Atkins and Bob Whitmer for recommending I try this because it solved, it's not all the, I mean, again, it's still a Vision Pro. It's still a lot of weight on your head. It's still, you know, and it gets hot under there, but the pain was gone. I highly recommend this thing. If you're having pain problems like I was with the Vision Pro, try one of these. Now, it is not slightest bit adjustable. You have a 15 millimeter and a 10 millimeter thickness on the pad, and that's the limit of adjustability. You can make it thicker, which I guess if you have a smaller head, but if you have a bigger head than me, this may not work for you at all. In which case, I can somewhat recommend the Spigen, whatever this thing is, the DR210. It works. It doesn't work as well, but it works. With the Spigen, after an hour and a half, I'd start having to fiddle with it. And there's no fiddling. Well, look, there's no adjustment. It just sits, and then there's nothing really you can do to adjust it. So you just put it on, and if it works for you, fantastic. If it doesn't work for you, return it. Try one of these. Oh, and I can report that this opening here, where it goes over your little downward firing speakers, it looks like it should affect the audio quality, because there is a little lip here that I'm sure catches some of the sound waves as they're coming out. But I didn't notice. Like I said, I watched Avatar: Way of Water. Audio was fantastic. The 3D was fantastic. I was very, very happy. I was comfortable. Again, heat. That just comes with the Vision Pro. It's going to be hot under there because, well, there's like 2 major processors in here. And yeah, there are fans pulling the heat through, but you get some heat on your face. Not a lot, but enough. But this thing, the pain was gone. And after 3 hours, maybe I had a little bit of discomfort under here because it doesn't take all the weight off of it. It takes all the weight off of here. If you're having problems with the pressure on your forehead, this pulls it up higher onto this, and I just didn't feel anything up there. But I still had a bit of pressure here, but nothing like with either of these Apple straps. And I get to use the cool looking Apple strap, the single loop band, because it works with this. I'm floored. John, Bob, God bless y'all. You've made my Vision Pro experience enjoyable again. You have that feeling when you first put it on and start looking at stuff and you go, oh my God, but then after just a few minutes, the pain would set in and you'd go, oh, I got to get this thing off my face. Not anymore. There's still a ways to go to make one of these that's really, really comfortable. And I hope Apple is working on that, but everything I've read says this may be the only one we have for quite a while. And if there's another one, it's going to be much cheaper, so it won't be as nice. And, oh, I don't know. But I'm happy for now. Now we just have to get the content ramped up. But of course, unless they're selling more of these, they're not going to put out the content. But if they don't put out the content, they're not going to sell more of these. It's a chicken and the egg thing. It's not perfect, but it's way better than the original bands that come from Apple. Because this thing is picking up most of the weight across your forehead, you don't even have to tighten up the single loop band very much because you don't have to pull on the back of your head. With both of them, though, I found that now that I'm using the single loop band, when I'm sitting in my chair and leaning back, I can put the single loop band against the back of the chair and I can actually slide it slightly up and down with my head. So for slight adjustments, again, no major adjustments, especially not with this one. With this one, you can do some major adjustments, but with this one, you're kind of stuck with what it is. But I could still slide it up and down a little, make it a little more comfortable, move the pressure a little bit from here. I'm amazed. I really didn't think it would make that big a difference. Pressure reducing comfort head strap. That's exactly what it is. Well, here we go. Reduces face pressure 60 to 90%. I kind of have to go along with that. A great little product. I'm a happy camper. The ANNAPRO pressure reducing comfort head strap. I can recommend this. That's it for today. I have no idea what I'm doing next week, so come back and see. Thanks for stopping by. See you next time. Bye-bye. I'm going to go watch some more 3D movies because, man, this thing is great. I love 3D. Thanks for staying to the end. Bye-bye.